good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland. Um, I'm out in the hinterlands and I'm with Jesus. Uh, I was just talking to Jesus about the sin of commission and the sin of omission, right? And I would say this is the crux of spirituality. The sin of omission is where you go, I don't believe, no, it's not you don't believe in God. You just diss God. You diss God, you diss Jesus, you diss the Holy Spirit, you diss everything. Allah, you name it, you diss it. That's the sin of omission, right? And commission is kind of when you do stupid stuff and because you commit the sin, right? And that sin, as Jesus is talking to me and saying, well, that sin is like the learning tool. How do you know about sin unless you commit it, right? Now, once you realize the sin you committed and you ask for Jesus' forgiveness and God's forgiveness, it's what it is. It's good boy, good girl. You understood the situation, what it is, right? Oh, anyway, let's see. I'm gonna put this right here to see if this works. Work? Can I put this? Let's see, right here. Okay. And there's two people here. Yes. No, nobody's here yet. Here it is, Sunday. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensie Owl Bob. So, what is this sin? What is sin? Here it is, Sunday. But Sunday isn't. God created the world in 7 days. He did all this stuff, and on the seventh. So, when is the seventh day? Right. For the Jews, it starts Friday night and goes into Saturday, right? That's their Sabbath, and they basically follow the moon, right? They worship in the darkness, right? Um, and then we have the Mosaic uh, like thing, where you guys are really writing up a storm here. Let's see. Good night. Anyway, everyone who joins, I love you all. Keep it up the good work. In these people go in these trying days. These are the end times. I don't think so. I'm only pushing 80, right? And I remember I remember the 50s. I remember McCarthyism. I remember the Korean War. That was pretty nasty. And that was like the forgotten war. Because and World War II was almost a forgotten war. I mean, it's a big war. Ooh, we won. But pretty much everyone who got blown up, I had friends who had no hands. I knew people down in the Bowery that, had no legs, no hands. Nobody really gave them a thought, maybe a nickel in their hat. I knew this one guy who used to play guitar. He had no legs. No, he had no arms, both lost up here, right? And he would play it with his toes. It was quite interesting. You look like guys, if you put it in, let's see. I think I have my glasses. Do I have my glasses? Let's see if I have my glasses. Here are my glasses. Here's a book I gave my, uh, you know, a person who calls himself a priest, right? Stop living on autopilot, right? And he basically, I found it in the garbage pail, because it was talking about God's love and God's forgiveness. And here's a priest, and you gotta go by the book. I said, well, I gave you a book right here. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Uh, do, 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 do. Said, hi, give us one life advice. Okay, I like that. So here we are, right? We're living our life, right? And much. Autopilot. Okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to like flip right through the pages and stop at a page and see what it says. How many do you have open? How many apps do you currently have open in life? Are you going to do everything? Apps could be jobs, hobbies, special projects, kids, housework, friends. Be good. Come on. I've always connection.